Today I want to share a self-myofascial release technique that you can use whenever you have pain or tension through the upper back, shoulders, and neck, and where stretching alone is feeling like it's not quite effective enough. All you're going to need is 2 tennis balls or lacrosse balls for a little more denser, firmer pressure, just tied up in a sock, or like I have here, a legging tied on both ends, just to kind of keep them together as you roll up and down the spine. We're going to get started off with your feet hips width distance apart, feet firmly planted. The tennis balls are going to go right along either side of the spine, kind of where the upper back begins. And so once you've placed the tennis balls there, interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows wide. Just allow your head to be heavy into your hands. Begin to engage through your abdominal muscles like you're moving into a crunch, so you're nice and supported and lifted away from the tennis balls. Take a moment to just feel that pressure along either side of your spine. You can stay here if you want a little more. Begin to extend the spine, still keeping that engagement through your abdominal muscles. Take a breath in. As you exhale, soften into the weight of gravity. And then pressing down into your heels, take a little lift of the hips towards your heels, using your hamstrings to move you closer to your heels. This will move the tennis balls a little further up the spine. Again, maybe taking a crunch to release some of the pressure off, or start to extend the spine for more direct pressure down. If this area feels a little more restricted, you might even take a little side-to-side motion. And so this is all you're going to be doing, just moving nice and slow along every little section of the spine until you meet at the top of the shoulders. So just making your way up there, using the heels, driving into the floor to lift the hips and scoot your way up the back. Once you've reached the top of the shoulders, you can kind of rearrange to what width feels best there. Good. Once you've got the tennis balls placed right where you want them, bring your hands by your hips, pressing the palms down, pressing your heels down. Engage your lower abdominals by drawing your front hip points inwards and lifting just below the navel. Press down through your heels to rise the hips up, finding a bridge pose. But rather than really thinking of a deep back bend here, arching through the spine, think more of a flat plane through the rib cage, the hips and knees. Good. Take a moment to just notice any change in sensation. There's a lot more weight going back into the top of the shoulders, the traps here. You might be able to roll a little further up to those upper traps in this position. Good. Once you've found a relevant spot for you, beginning to add some movement. Arms start to rise overhead. Again, just observing any changes in the areas you feel the pressure, changes in sensation, moving slowly with your breath. Start to cactus the arms. Again, just shifting where those tennis balls hit and finding the areas that feel like they need that strong compression. And then start to reach your arms back overhead. Take the arms wide. And then cross your arms right under, left over, giving yourself a big hug. Big breath in here. Feel the upper back expand into the tennis balls. As you exhale, just soften in, release the upper back further into the floor. Inhale, open the arms back up. As you exhale, switch the cross, left goes under right. But at any time you can set your hips down, it'll be a little less pressure. This is a great opportunity to get some hamstring and glute work as well, staying in this bridge. And again, even here you can just adjust, finding a spot that feels most like it needs it. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Good. Inhale, arms back overhead. Exhale, slowly release down. Hips will release down as well. Good. Bring your hands behind your head, interlacing the fingers. Take a little upper body crunch and gently remove the tennis balls from underneath you. Bring your arms by your side. Just take a moment bringing the awareness to the areas that just had that strong compression. Notice notice any changes, perhaps the sensation of heat after the release in the muscles and fascia. Any more ease, or any areas that still feel like they are holding on, need a little more work. If you want to do a little more concentrated pressure, you can just take one tennis ball to the shoulder that you'd like, come back into that bridge, and just add the movement to that one arm, a little more focus into just one side. And after you've done any myofascial release like that, working through the tennis balls or with a foam roller, it's always a great opportunity to then stretch after. So for the upper back, shoulders, neck, the simple ear to shoulder, adding rotation in the head and neck, adding that movement through the arms, just playing around with it, taking cat-cow through the upper back, just kind of releasing, stretching after you've worked out some of the adhesions in that area. Just show the muscles a new length.